So, yes, I have created agencies, anti-corruption unit of State House, IGG. Those will work. If you get personnel who are committed, they will help. But the real structural anti-corruption mechanism is the LC system and the public, you the public. Public kubanja from your LCs and your LCs to follow up. The corruption will go. The only issue that I see is for the leaders to know what to do.
Okay.
Because sometimes they don't know what to do, then they try to be populist, to give money to the population, then they get into debts. That's why there's a problem. But because all the sections are represented, if they could use that mandate to check the government programs, PDM, has the man arrived, Emioga, has the man arrived, the local government roads, why are they not done? Where is the money? The 1.3 billion per district, why have they not done the... If they could do the monitoring well, you would go very far. Because that's what they're supposed to do. The democracy is broad-based democracy, the best in the world. Because like in 1962, there were only, I remember 2 women in parliament. Somebody said there were 3, but I don't remember the third one. But even if there were 3 out of 82 members, in fact 90, because the 82, you had another 9 nominated. And I think these 3 women came among the nominated. And yet the population of Uganda is always 50% women. So how can you have 3 women out of 90 people representing 50% of the population? And you call that democracy? This is the democracy. If anybody wants to learn democracy, come to Uganda.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Your current campaign is based on protecting the gains. One of the biggest challenges that we see is on the issues of corruption that could derail some of the gains, or that has really derailed some of the gains.
The bush. Because when we came from the bush, you had a government here. You had a Muruka chief, you had a sub-county chief, you had, at that time there were even people called Saza chiefs, county chiefs, and you had the DC. Government appointees. I was aware of all this because I have been around for a long time. I was here under the British and after. So I knew the corruption of those chiefs. The Gombara chiefs were corrupt. So the chiefs were corrupt. The departmental staff, veterinary, medical, were corrupt. I'm the one who alerted NRM. So you people, those chiefs can stay, but we must have our own people from the population. That's how we elected LC1 from us. Yes, the government structure is there. The Muruka chief is government appointed. The Gombara chief is appointed. the RDC, DC, whatever you call them, they are appointed, but let's have our own people. LC1, LC2, LC3, LC5, the councillors, the member of parliament constituency, a member of parliament woman, a member of parliament disabled, member of parliament youth, member of parliament worker. These are all people from you. They are your people, you are the ones who elected them. Why don't they fight corruption on your behalf? Because the money which is being stolen is yours. The government sends you money, your share, and you have got your nyamparas, your agents. They don't defend this money. So you can see that the problem is for people to know their role. They don't know their role, because if and you also don't know, because if you knew, you would demand from them, you man or woman, we elected you to check it, why are you not checking it? But all of you are waiting for the president to be the one to fight corruption now, which is in Paicho, in Patiko, imagine, from Kampala to Patiko. Yes, I can fight it. Yes, I come once in a while. I'm also supposed to have people there. You know, there's somebody called Diso. Have you heard of somebody called Diso?
Yes.
That one is also there. Diso. Then there's Giso. I hear there's even Piso or PC or whatever they call him.
Yes, and the parish level.
Now, all those people, those are mine now. But the problem with mine, the ones I send, are Lutichi. They are employees. They are not like yours, who are the people who are from the owners, because you are the owners of the district, of the sub-county, and the money which is coming is yours. So if it is being stolen, yes, I can come in and fight to defend it, but the one who should defend it first should be you and your agents. Who are your agents? LC3. You are the ones who elected him. The councillor, you are the one who elected them. LC5, you are the one who elected them. Why don't they defend? I can also ask you, because you are always asking me questions, and now I ask you, why don't your agents defend your interests? And why don't you, Kubanja, the Bantu word for Kubanja, when somebody has got you a debt, to demand the debt from him? Why don't you put Banya? Them, you man, we elected you to fight, to check the money for PDM. You are not checking it. We are going to remove you. Because that's what after my hope. That's why I brought the LC system, for the people to have capacity to check their interests. But somehow they don't do that work. Then you also don't Kumanja from them. What is the problem? Maybe you can tell me what is the problem.
I'm not quite sure. Could be lack of civic knowledge among the population.
Yes. Then let's deal with that, because like this money is sent publicly. It's non-public. 100 million has come to the parish for PDM. Why wouldn't all these adults in the parish want to know who got the money? Or PO, or court, So that yes, we confirm that they got because we know them. They are from our village. We know them. So the trap for fighting corruption is already there. Like I was campaigning in Maracha, and instead of campaigning, it turned into an investigation about the PDM money. Because the public know that 100 million, that each one is supposed to get 1 million. But some had got less. And they complained when I was there. So, yes, I have created agencies, anti-corruption unit of State House, IGG. Those will work. If you get personnel who are committed, they will help. But the real structural anti-corruption mechanism is the LOC system and the public, the public kubanja from your LOCs and your LOCs to follow up. The corruption will go.
Thank you so much for that elaborate explanation. My next question to you is, we have the population of this country.
In the 1960s, how I came to gain, okay, how many other questions remaining?
I have about 8.
Hey.
I'll go on briefly. One, I think it would be unfair to the youth if I don't ask you your plan for creating jobs for them, because there are so many who are educated. Fortunately, I heard you in your rallies talk of giving some funds to the graduate who would have failed to get jobs after 2 years from their graduation. What are the other plans for those who probably have not gone to university or who are not graduates?
But in my rallies, I've told you the economy. You have Kuch, then we use Kuch to have Donglobo, meaning infrastructure, electricity, the roads, the railway. Then also the social infrastructure, the schools, the health. And you have law in you, but you must have law in you. And it is the law in you that creates jobs. You study all the economies in the world. Where does employment come from? It is from factories owned by companies, hotels, transport companies. So, what we are telling you is the right way. Lonyo will create, teach. It is already doing it. It is already doing it. The only problem is that people don't, they confuse, they think that working for the government is the only job. But the government has got very few jobs. You read the whole world. How many, what percentage of the people are working for the government? And what percentage are in manufacturing? What percentage are in services? So jobs will come from Lonyo. Yes, the government can employ some, but very few. All the government employees are 480,000. But the people working in the factories now are already 1.3 million. And the ones in agriculture, there are many more. So That's why you hear my graduates of the hubs telling you about becoming job creators rather than being job seekers. They were saying so in their testimony.
Thank you. Let's move quickly to the issues of health. What are the plans to strengthen Uganda's healthcare system, especially in the face of the current rapid growth of the population? The current rapid growth of the population, vis-a-vis strengthening the healthcare system in the country?
Well, the population is growing fast because of the successful health program. Because you remember, we used to have Todd Wong. Did you hear of that man? Todd Wong. Meaning that people are dying a lot. Now, I don't know, I think Todd Wong will be the last with that name of Todd Wong. Because now under NRM there is no more Todd Wongs. The children are growing, they are growing. Life expectancy now has gone to 68. It used to be 43. And yet, we have just really done one thing correct, just one, immunization. Only that. The other public health measures are not yet done. Nutrition. I don't know why these doctors don't concentrate on nutrition. Educating our people which food to eat. Lifestyle change. Because people now are dying from prosperity. Blood pressure. Those Balaro of yours, I see them there in Chiruhura. They are dying from prosperity. If you go to a wedding, you find many cars there. Because they have cars. They are fat. They become fat. So, lifestyle, alcohol, tobacco, that one is causing unnecessary sicknesses. If we handle that, then malaria control. By having more public health measures, would eliminate 85% of the sicknesses. Even the maternal cases. Children who get pregnant before they are old enough, then they get maternal or obstetric complications. All those public health measures would cover more. And then on the curative side, if you remove some residual, because I've been here with you for 40 years now. Have you ever heard that I'm in a hospital? I've never had time to go to a hospital. Except when I had corona for 21 days. I was not very sick, but I'm not used to being inactive. So, if we could have more of the public, or of the prevention of sicknesses, the health would even be better. Then that leaves us with about 20% curative. Some cases which are not avoidable, accidents, those obstetric cases, would have less burden of, because now Ministry of Health has been more Ministry of Diseases than the Ministry of Health. Because they wait for you to be sick, and then they take you to hospital, then you put up your legs. But why don't you avoid sickness? Because you can avoid sickness. You can avoid, there are so many things you can avoid. So that we have got a healthy population rather than a sick population needing treatment. Now, people are talking of a health insurance system. I've been wanting to study that. Of course, health insurance system would help people to go to private clinics, to what. But I want to start with my villagers. How will they participate in that system? That's why I'm still saying for now, let's continue with the free medical care by the government. And then when people have income, then we can assess. So the main emphasis should be prevention by immunization, which has worked, hygiene, because you remember we used to have a problem of hepatitis A. And hepatitis A was being spread by what they call orophyco. Not so hormonal. You hear the words. Oro, the mouth. The mouth, you know English. Oro means mouth. Orophyco. Fico is feces. That feces go to your mouth. Can you imagine? Orophyco. I don't know why they don't explain all this to you. Oh, hepatitis A is spread by orophyco. How did the feces go to somebody's mouth? Because of the bad way when Tito Kero and Basilio overthrew Obote, and they were trying to, a boy called Ojuku, there was a boy called Ojuku, a soldier called Ojuku, was disturbing people in Lango. We opposed him and just him, and so on. So for us, we always oppose wrong and support right. All these years. So now people, now the other day, this Nani Odongoto would have to give me a cow as a fine. You should tell him that you owe the old man Museveni a cow. Because when I came for the consultation in Unyama, what's Unyama? We were in a PTC somewhere.
Which PTC?
He was praising me, but it is an offense. I would have to get a cow from him. Because he was praising me, he was saying, Museveni, thank you very much for chasing the Bararo. It's very good that you chase your own tribe from here. Now the offense is that Odongoto would have thought at any one time that I can side with people because they are my tribe, even when they are wrong. So I need a cow from Odongoto.
We shall relay that message to him.
So for him, he was praising me. He thought he was praising me. But I could see a mistake in the praise. Why did you think? You should have known that I cannot support wrong, even if it is from my own family. Because this is the NRA. In 1971, when we were opposing Idi Amin, I've told you I had been in DP in 1960. Now, when Idi Amin overthrew Obote, all my DPs were very happy because Amin had overthrown their enemy Obote. We said no. This Amin is very, very, very dangerous, and we waste our time. So we opposed Amin, and our own family members who were DP were annoyed with us. Why are these boys following your body? We are not following your body. We are following principle. So, but now you can see, because of that constant stand on supporting right, opposing wrong, people now have come to understand. And that's why there's a big support, as you can see, in all parts of the country, including the north, which was being misinformed by mistake makers, people who make mistakes. They're the ones come. The Bantus want to kill Nilotics. Really? My speech on the introduction or on the national conference, I pointed out that Uganda has gone through 5 phases, our economy. There's what I call the minimum economic recovery. Stop magendo smuggling, stop black market of forex, stop shortages. I was in Moyo and I met my old friend, Dr. Moses Apiriga. In 1979-80, he was Minister of State for Shortages. He was called Minister of Supplies because there was shortage of sugar, shortage of soap, shortage. So Apiriga, the one was distributing the fuel, Minister of Supplies. But he was really Minister of Shortages. So, first phase was to end the shortages, which we did quickly. But those what had caused the shortages was that Idi Amin had destroyed the small colonial economy of the 3 C's and 3 T's. 3 C's being copper, cotton and coffee, and 3 T's being tobacco, tourism, and tea. This is the small economy which the British left. Small money economy. We are calling it enclave economy. Enclave means island. Because in 1969, or 1969, or it was covering only 9%. That small economy of money economy of the 3 C, 3 T's was accommodating only 9% of the homesteads. But when Idi Amin came, he destroyed it. So when we came, we had to bring it back, and that's what we call minimum economic recovery. Then we expanded it. If you look at coffee now, coffee was about 3 million bags. I think we are now approaching 12 million bags of coffee. Even tea was 23 million kilograms. I think it's now like 60 million kilograms. And so on. So, minimum recovery, expansion, and then number 3, diversification. Bring new products. Number 4, value addition. Phase 5, knowledge economy. the Kira motors which you have seen, the Kayora Basi, the what. So that's where we are moving now. Because you can imagine if we add value to all our raw materials and we intensify the knowledge economy, but also we must have Kwanono. There must be the two movements. On the economy, Duchu involving in money economy. Duchu. I don't want Rutuku and Rutuko, the players, Rutuko and the Runeno spectators. That's for football. But for wealth creation, everybody must be a Rutuko. Everybody must engage in the money economy. But also on this side, they must have free education. Universal, everybody must be educated. You cannot go on with conserving ignorance. Because that's what we are doing now. We are conserving national parks, but also conserving ignorance. A child has reached P6, dropped out of school. Why? Oh, my parents died. If your parents died, did Uganda die? There is a republic. This republic is called Uganda. If these kings of ours, like the king of Toro Bunyoro there, when they are praising their kings, praising them, one of the praise names is Omukumamfuzi. The king was the one who was looking after the orphans. Mfuzi are the orphans. So this republic of yours, which doesn't look after children and they drop out of school, because teachers are looking for money, head teachers, PTA, I don't know what, you are conserving ignorance. It is also ungodly. God will not like it. I'm very worried about those who do it. God will not look at them very well. Because this is Runeko. You are killing these children when they drop out of school. You have seen my skilling hubs, how they have transformed those children who had been thrown away into very useful people. You have seen them on the rallies. The boy cheated me, but how much do shoes cost here?
An average of 35,000 to 150,000, depending also on the type and the material used.
So the boy just cheated me. So, with the two movements, everybody participating in the money economy and education for all, we are going to become a modern country. And it will change because even this population increasing so much, because families are having too many children. This is because of village life. Once people become educated and they will not have too many children, 4 children, 3 children. So even the population will no longer grow so much. So it should change and become a modern society. That's what we are aiming at. That's why we are talking of a qualitative leap. To become a modern country like this. But with African conditions, I don't want to be like Europeans. because modernity in Europe has made them get lost. I think here we need to become modern but remain African. Fame in our area there. I was not elected, but I was a student leader. And my biggest, I started by fighting corruption of the veterinary staff, of the medical, of the teachers who were impregnating schoolgirls. That's how I started my fight, and I became very famous in the 1960s. You fight corruption, people will love you because you are defending their share of the national cake. So therefore, you people become corruption fighters and work with the LOCs. The corruption will go, they will fear. I will continue with my own side. The anti-corruption unit is there. The IGG have appointed new people now. But the trap is really there already. Because you know your share, the parish people, you know how to prioritize something which will get you. For instance, when we were fighting, I've told you on the rally there, when I met Muammar Gaddafi, 1981, I was in my 30s. I was like 35 at that time. And then Gaddafi said, how can, we were already in the bush in Ruwero, and Gaddafi said, what support can I give you? Do you want money? I said, no sir, I don't want money. How about uniform? I said, I don't want uniform. How about medicine? I don't want medicine. I just want a gun and bullets. If I have those, the rest I will get myself. And that's all. Gaddafi was surprised. He even asked me, don't you want a radio for propaganda? I said, my propaganda will be attacking the enemy. I attack him and then he reports. So that ability to prioritize is your problem. Now, when it comes to the countryside and the city, I think my area where I come from is the best example. In 1967, when I was mobilizing those villagers, there was a trading center called Rushere, where there were 3 shops, a deck, a chair, a rio, a deck. If you go there now, it's a huge town. But where did it come from? It came from doing what I was telling you on these rallies. Lonyo, Pidano, Ot, Acher. Homestead incomes. We were able to change those. They are coming here, you call them Bararo. They have been disturbing you, have chased them. But there, we educated them to go from Pur Machon to Pur Manyen, as I've been telling you in the rallies. And the Pur Manyen was Ichak, milk. And it caught up. So I will be getting pictures of what I showed on the rally was individual homes, but you can also get an aerial view. See how the whole area is much better arranged with rural farms, dairy farms. Now, because of the rural economy, commercial economy of dairy, you now have the big town growing up. Why? Because the shops can now sell clothes to this rich Bararo. Then there are those who are selling agricultural inputs, chemicals for cows, for this, for that. Some of those Bararo like alcohol, so they go there to drink in the town, bars and so on. So the countryside creates the towns. If you want it, it creates the towns. So therefore, where I don't agree with people is to start with the, and at the right time, the city will be very important for the countryside. Because the city will now have industries which process what the countryside has the raw materials. So the question is when do you, now where the weakness was to maintain each one in the rural areas. Like the testimonies which I give you on the TV, on my screen is there. Like this girl Anena of Amuru, who was there stuck. Then she got the 1 million. Then she planted groundnuts, harvested 35 bags. We were seeing it today. Harvested 35 bags of groundnuts and sold at 2.1 million. The one who got 1 million 4 months ago, he has now got 2 million. And from the 2 million, she bought some goats and a better sewing machine. Now she has got income. She's a big. So, when you have a strong rural economy, then you have very prosperous towns. The towns must depend on the countryside. You cannot have successful towns without a strong rural economy.
Thank you. As we wind the first set of our...
So it is not either or. It is, for instance, when you start cities, like we have done in some cases, before you do the rural roads, that's not correct prioritization. You should start with the rural roads and the rural economy, and then it feeds the town. It will be more organic, it will be healthier and richer and vibrant.
Thank you so much. My last question on this first set of questions is on the issues of how do you balance and manage
position. We have got a weak constitutional order, because the constitutional order should discipline the way we conduct democracy. In some cases, somebody should be disqualified from leadership by taking certain positions. For instance, if you say, you people go in the wetlands, This should be disqualified by law. So you are enemy of the country, out. But now they talk like that, and then we are there. Of course, NRM is very strong. In the end, we shall control them. But it will be neater if the constitution order, like for instance in Tanzania, one of the candidates was disqualified, I think. The candidate of the opposition or something like that. You can check. Was disqualified. Oh, that's what you are. You want the country to collapse. You want the environment to collapse. You are disqualified. The court. So I think the law should be, somebody can preach his tribalism, he just goes there, and then there's a weakness there in the law. But we manage them by correct policies and dedication. Because like you can see that the NRM now is quite popular in the north. But how the reactionary groups, what I would call them reactionary groups, how they were misleading our people in the north. Me, I didn't mind because I knew we would defeat them. Because from 1960, I have been participating myself. And we have never let down anybody in Uganda. Never. We always support the legitimate interests of the people. In 1960, I was in DP, and we didn't support the idea of Federo. You've been hearing this Kampala people talking about Mengo people. Federo.
Yes.
Which meant tribalism. That we should have tribalism. Acholi, Baganda, Banyankole. And DP took a position that no, we should have a more united Uganda. The Mengo people are against Chiwanuka, our leader, that he had not done what they wanted. Now UPC encouraged Mengo to go on. Say, well, we shall give you what you want, whatever you need. Then after 2 years, they found what was too much. It was not possible. So they had a fight now between Mengo and Obote. And we blamed UPC, but why did you mislead this Mengo? And then you use excessive force, because also the force they used was excessive and very indisciplined. Now, when Idi Amin took power in 1971, I was the first person in Uganda to oppose Idi Amin. He took power on the 25th. On the 26th, I looked for the money from the bank, and I left on the 27th to fight Idi Amin. Amin never ruled me. And when Amin was killing the Cholis, Langis, we were fighting him. Now, when we defeated Amin, then our UPCs here wanted to revenge the Western Islands. We opposed them. Why do you revenge on the Western Islands? Amin was just an individual. The mistakes he was making them himself, not on behalf of his mother or his son or his children. He was doing them alone. So we didn't agree with the revenge against the Western Islands. We opposed it.